Good morning everyone. Today I'm here with my next video on the question answers of the chapter A Race Lost and Won by Devika Rangachari. Let us start with the question and answers. Question 1. Why did the class groan when the bell rang for PT? The class groaned when the bell rang for PT because the narrator immediately jumped up with excitement, ready to go to the PT grounds, beating the other girls into coming down early. Question 2. Why was the narrator the sole source of amusement for her classmates? The narrator was the sole source of amusement for her classmates because she would keep twisting, tangling or tying herself in knots while trying to do the exercises in PT. Question 3. How did narrator visualize, that is imagine, herself in the race and what actually happened? The narrator visualized herself running the last and decisive lap of the competition, being egged on by her school and pipping her nearest competitor at the post by a split second. She imagined Mrs Reddy shedding tears of gratitude all over her and her talent in sports getting recognized at last. What actually happened was that the narrator came fourth in the race. She could hardly see and her breath was choking her when she finally stumbled over the finishing line. She had tears in her eyes. Her classmate Deepali complimented her. Mrs Reddy praised her effort and promised to help her improve her running skills. Question 4. For the first time after the race, the narrator seemed dejected. However, her classmate and Mrs Reddy encouraged her for the effort she had put in. Do you think they did the right thing? Give reasons. Yes, they did the right thing. The narrator had a positive spirit. She would never give up on sports. In the race, even though she came fourth, she worked hard and outdid herself. Everyone needs a little encouragement now and then. By encouraging the narrator, Deepali and Mrs Reddy gave her the will to move on, practice even harder, and to prove herself. Now let us do the reference to context questions. The first extract is, the bell rang a minute ago. You are extremely punctual, I must say. A part, who said these words? The answer is Mrs Reddy said these words. Who was extremely punctual? The narrator was extremely punctual. Do you think the speaker was happy to see the person who was punctual? Give reasons. I feel Mrs Reddy was not happy to see the narrator. She rose almost reluctantly to her feet when she saw her. She was not happy because Mrs Reddy worried about her a lot as the narrator could never do the exercises properly. Mrs Reddy would have to come to her rescue every time she got tangled up. Second extract. For I was in love with sports. Every minute of it, every complicated exercise, every exhausting hurdle, every last bit of it. After all, I put in my best and it was just bad luck that I ended up in unforeseen situations. A part question is, why does the narrator say that she was in love with sports? The answer to this is, the narrator said that she was in love with sports because she liked to do different kinds of exercises under Mrs Reddy's command. And even after getting mocked and hurt, she did not give up on sports. Here the word mocked means to make fun of. So even if the friends made fun of her, or talked about her, she did not give up on sports. Question B. Was the narrator good at sports? The answer is no. The narrator was not good at sports. Question C. Do you like the narrator's positive attitude, or do you think she is making a fool of herself? Answer is yes. I like the narrator's positive attitude. She never gives up on sports, even if she gets hurt or laughed at. Her tenacity makes her practice more and work harder to prove herself. Extract 3. I am very pleased with the way you ran. You have potential in this. There will be other races, other competitions, so don't worry about missing this one. Instead, focus on improving your running. I will help you. Question A is, who said these words to whom? Mrs. Reddy said these words to the narrator. B part, why did the speaker say these words? Does the speaker actually believe in the person's potential? The answer to this is, Mrs. Reddy said these words because the narrator came fourth in the race and her effort was praiseworthy. Yes, Mrs. Reddy actually believes in the narrator's potential. Question C is, what was the reaction of the listener? The word seemed less bleak to the narrator. Hope surged in her heart. She promised to prove herself in sports someday. She looked at Mrs. Reddy and smiled. There is just one extra question. Let us see. The narrator gave her best shot at everything, but she did not succeed. However, her failures didn't deter her from trying. Do you think she had the right kind of attitude? Give reasons. Yes, the narrator had the right kind of attitude. We should not stop doing something that we like just because of a few failures or because people laugh at us. Every success begins with a failure. Failures are only opportunities to learn and grow. The narrator did not let her failures deter her from trying. She only tried harder and promised to prove herself in sports someday. Just like the narrator, we all should keep such an attitude. Never give up, even if you fall. Never give up, even if you fail. Never quit. Just keep trying, and we will always succeed. Thank you for watching my video. If you have not subscribed my channel, please do so, and also press the bell icon for the latest notifications. Do take good care of yourself. Goodbye.